This is Coogan Cassius for iFILM London. We're at the MGM Grand. With me, I've got Stephen ESPINOZA from SHOWTIME. You alright, Stephen? How are you?
Things are great.
So this has been a pretty manic week. We're only halfway through. Press conference today. Final one for Guerrero and Mayweather. A bit of a heated, well, I don't know what you could call it, between the dads today. What did you make of it?
Ruben Guerrero is, if nothing else, very unpredictable. He's almost predictably unpredictable. So, he's passionate, enthusiastic, and a little bit crazy. And that's the recipe for some interesting press conferences.
Floyd seemed quite relaxed today. He didn't get involved into the war of words. We all thought that he probably would, but he didn't. He, remained quite calm in his final speech on the stage. So, he looks quite relaxed today, Floyd.
I think that's an accurate statement. I think he saw the chaos, and there was you can either respond to two ways. One is you go at it with your own sort of manic response, or you take the high road and say, look, I've been here before. I sort of took his reaction as an unspoken statement, in a sense, to Guerrero. It says, look, I've been here before. None of this phases me. You can yell, you can, make statements, you can make a scene. I've seen it all.
Can you sum up in words for me how big it is that Floyd Mayweather is now on Showtime?
It can't be overstated, really. When I took the job at Showtime, I really set as my goal to bring the network to the highest echelons of this sport. And that means doing a Mayweather fight. Can't really say you're operating at the highest levels of boxing until you've done a Mayweather fight. And so this signals, really that there's no difference in the networks, that the programming that we have is at least as good as HBO, and I think recently has been better. So it really, it's a win for Floyd. It's a win for us.
The All Access series, which we've just seen is it the fourth part?
The fourth right.
part we've seen. How important was that to try and make it slightly different from the 24/7 series from HBO?
It was very important. I mean, obviously, it's a similar format. It's the same genre. Our approach has been a little bit more, I'd say, naturalistic, maybe a little bit more authentic. One thing that we spoke with Floyd about when we went into this is, and we all agreed pretty quickly, that the formula had become a little bit stale. That what Floyd had become was a caricature of himself. And it was a very popular caricature, but it had also become stale. And so this was an opportunity to show more of Floyd, to show that there wasn't just this one character, this one caricature of himself. And I think there's a lot of surprise. Even people who disliked Floyd had to acknowledge that there was, a more human side, a more personal side, a more, a more lovable side than they thought existed before. And at the same time, with Robert, we've shown surprising sides of him as well. I think everyone knew him as a humble guy and a guy with Christian values. I don't think they knew the level of determination and his resolve. That was the surprising thing that came through to me.
I know obviously this is just me probably talking slightly ahead of myself here, but what's the possibilities of seeing Mayweather and Canelo September 14th?
I think by far the biggest obstacle to that is Robert Guerrero. If Floyd is able to win the fight, I think it's very likely we will see Mayweather-Canelo in September. I know Floyd wants that fight. I know Canelo wants that fight. I'm confident that, with a little struggle, the money can be worked out. So really, the only impediment is sort of Robert Guerrero, and he intends to be a very big impediment.
So there's also the possibility of the other TV company obviously going head to head on the same night. So, you know, what's that going to do for, you know, is that good for boxing to have two massive major shows on the same night like that?
You know what? I think the last time it happened in September of last year with the Canelo fight, I think there's a good argument that both events benefited from it. We really didn't hear about one event without talking about the other. I think that's an anomaly, though. I think it's not a good trend for that to continue to happen. Having said that, you know, it's not something we can control. It's clear that the other network is, you know, is counter-programming dates that we announce, which is absolutely fine. They did so this past weekend, and we beat them head-to-head with the Danny Garcia fight. So, quite honestly, in terms of the health of our network, it's not going to suffer. I'd like to avoid it for the health of the sport, though.
And just finally, there's been some talk this week about Floyd and his want of coming to the UK to fight there. I mean, possible names mentioned, Amir Khan. I mean, I don't know whether that's just media speculation or not, but what are the chances, do you think, of Floyd in his, well, his 30 months he keeps talking about coming to the UK? What do you think, Stephen?
I actually think that there's a good chance, and here's why. Floyd likes to surprise people. He likes to do the unexpected. You know, and that's one of the things that was working in our favor with the Showtime deal. No one really expected him to leave HBO after so many years. No one really expected him to show the side of himself that he's shown in this promotion. I think Floyd, you know, wants to continue expanding horizons and conquering, you know, new platforms. So it wouldn't surprise me at all if at some point in the next 12 to 18 months he fought in the UK.
Okay, well, Stephen, thank you very much for talking to iFILM London. So I'll be out again for Devin Alexander and Lee Purdy, which is also on Showtime with Matisse and Peterson. So yeah, it's all good. It's all coming. So.
It's that'll be an entertaining one as well. That's a great.
What do you know about Lee Purdy? Just out of curiosity.
Before 2 weeks ago, not much, to be quite honest. You know, I've learned a lot more, and you know, and quite honestly, I think there's some danger there for Devin Alexander. There's always the risk of sort of a letdown or overlooking someone, and I think Lee Purdy is a strong enough and talented enough fighter that he poses some real danger, particularly if Devin, you know, doesn't take him seriously.
All right, well, thank you for talking to us, and
Absolutely.
We'll enjoy the rest of May Day fight week, and then May the 4th, it's Showtime.
Great. Thanks for your support.
Thank you very much.